So despite having a work visa, finding a job proved to be much harder than expected. This period of unemployment was tough. The months of job searching were a test of my adaptability. I learned to remain flexible and open to opportunities that were not part of my original plan. Welcome to the inaugural series of the Humor Career Insights podcast, your guide to navigating career success. I'm your host, Vachechi Bafa, a certified professional career coach, human resources consultant, and founder of Humor. Whether you're just starting out or transitioning after years of service, this podcast is your go-to resource for invaluable tips and strategies. In this first series, we are diving into the topic of career transitions, especially pertinent during these uncertain times. Join us as we explore practical insights and expert advice to propel your career forward in the ever-evolving professional landscape. So buckle up and get ready to navigate career transitions with confidence. Let's embark on this journey together. Don't forget to rate and follow. Welcome to episode 5, Building Resilience During Career Transitions. Many years ago, I relocated to a new country, having profitably and successfully managed a consulting company for 3 years. If you have moved countries before, you will understand the challenges that go hand in hand with cross-border moves, especially when you're a trailing spouse, like I have been. First, I had to get a work permit, a process that proved to be lengthy and onerous. This was disappointing, given it was a neighboring country. But that's a gripe for another day. I finally did get a work visa, and I thought it would be easy to get a job. I thought the hard work was done. Several months later, I was still unemployed. I eventually did get a job, but not exactly what I wanted. The job did not pay very well, and also was not what I wanted to do, but at least it was a job. I took it and I gave it my best shot. Unfortunately, I learned at the end of that first month that the employer had misrepresented to me about the performance of the company. The company was in a bad financial position. Nonetheless, I was very shocked that I did not get my salary. And it turned out the employees who had been there had not been paid regularly. They were owed a lot in back pay. That was a huge red flag, and I resolved to stay home until I had been paid my dues. However, the owner called and pleaded with me to come back with the promise he would fulfill his end of the bargain. Trustingly, I went back to work, despite my husband's stern warning that this was not a good idea, and I should quit while I was ahead and keep looking for a job where I would at least get paid. I persisted despite a lot of personal challenges and continued and got sucked into this cycle of, he owes me, and if I quit, I will never get paid what is owed to me. Well, that cycle continued for almost a year. And in that year, I only got paid maybe 4 to 5 times and hardly ever all my monthly salary. I left a year later with more than half my annual salary still owed to me. Maddeningly and frustratingly, the owner of the company lived in a mansion. He drove a fancy car, and I got to find out later that he made generous contributions to his church. It seemed he enjoyed the finer things in life at the expense of his employees. Till today, he has not paid me what he owes me. I learned some resilience during this time. As these things happen, in addition to my career struggles, I was also facing a personal family crisis. I had to be resilient. There was no choice really. In this episode, I would like to share some of my personal reflections on developing resilience and adapting to change. You are listening to the Humor Career Insights podcast. Remember to follow, rate, and share. Embracing new beginnings. Moving to a new country was a daunting task that required me to start from scratch. This experience taught me the importance of embracing new beginnings, even when they come with significant challenges. It reminded me that every end is a new beginning, and with every beginning comes the opportunity to grow and learn. Since then, I've moved 4 times to different countries, and that challenging experience has sure come in handy. Navigating bureaucratic challenges. The process of obtaining a work permit was incredibly challenging, filled with bureaucratic hurdles and delays. Navigating the complex process of obtaining a work permit taught me that resilience often means facing frustrating and seemingly insurmountable obstacles with patience and tenacity. Adapting to unforeseen circumstances. So despite having a work visa, finding a job proved to be much harder than expected. This period of unemployment was tough, but it forced me to adapt and reassess my career expectations. Unemployment is tough, and I know that many of us learned this particularly during the COVID era. The months of job searching were a test of my adaptability. I learned to remain flexible and open to opportunities that were not part of my original plan. Next, accepting imperfect opportunities. So I eventually took a job that wasn't ideal, but provided some income. This taught me that sometimes resilience means accepting less than perfect opportunities and making the best of them. Taking a job that wasn't what I wanted or expected taught me that resilience is about making the best out of imperfect situations and finding value in every experience. The next learning was through financial instability. So the financial instability I faced at that job was a wake-up call. It taught me the importance of financial planning and being selective about the employers I choose to work with. It also made me realize the importance of savings. By this I mean have a nest egg, money to cover your current monthly budget for the next 6 to 12 months, if at all possible. It's also important to learn about investment and income streams that are not employer dependent. How about balancing professional and personal challenges? During this challenging time, I was also dealing with a personal family crisis. Balancing my professional struggles with the personal challenges was incredibly tough. But it taught me that resilience often means finding strength in adversity and prioritizing what matters most. I eventually did leave the job and focused on what mattered most at the time. You are listening to Humor Career Insights Episode 5, Building Resilience During Career Transitions. Remember to follow, rate, and share. Trusting my instincts was something else that I learned. Despite my husband's warnings, when I didn't receive my first month's salary, I returned to the job, believing that things would improve. They didn't. This taught me the importance of listening to the advice of those who care about me. It is extremely important to have that trusted tribe whom you can use as a sounding board and who do not shy away from telling you the hard truths that you need to hear at times. Sometimes resilience means knowing when to walk away and just seek better opportunities. Persevering despite setbacks. Continuing to work without regular pay was not smart, and I would never do it again, nor would I recommend it to anyone. At the time, I thought I was persevering, but I was wasting my time. This experience, however, reinforced that resilience is about enduring setbacks and continuing to push forward, even when it's difficult. I did learn to let go, but learning when to let go. Ultimately, I had to leave the job without being fully paid. This taught me that sometimes resilience means recognizing when to let go and move on for your own well-being. During that period of transition, I also found strength in adversity. Throughout these experiences, I learned that resilience is about finding strength in adversity and continuing to move forward, no matter how tough the journey gets. The challenges I faced taught me that resilience is not just about enduring hardships, but finding strength and purpose in adversity and using those experiences to grow stronger. One of the unfortunate consequences of the COVID-19 pandemic was the unprecedented loss of jobs worldwide. According to the International Labour Organization, ILO, approximately 114 million jobs were lost in 2020. If you are one of the people who lost their jobs due to the pandemic, you know the stress and challenges that come with navigating a job search during a pandemic. It's the same stress as looking for a job during an economic downturn. Mid-career unemployment is also very challenging, particularly when you're trying to change careers. So there are many questions and decisions that need to be made during this season. Questions such as, how do I find another job? Where and how should I apply? What am I even good at? What jobs am I looking for? Should I cold apply or be more targeted in my approach? Is networking a good strategy? Who is hiring And how do I break through the thousands of applicants? I hear these questions and many more firsthand from clients who have not been on the job market in a long time or who have never had to conduct a job search, and they are now in a position to take control of their next move. It sometimes takes a while to find the next opportunity, and this can cause some despair, but don't give up. A breakthrough will eventually come if you are resilient and keep applying and networking. You are listening to Humor Career Insights Episode 5, Building Resilience During Career Transitions. Remember to follow, rate, and share. Here are some practical tips for building resilience and adapting to change when you are out of employment. Number 1, gain a competitive advantage. There are so many talented people in the job market, particularly in the humanitarian world, so you have to work extra hard to gain a competitive advantage. You can do this through your career marketing documents. Work hard on your resume and cover letter to sell your unique skills, highlight your strengths, and show your prospective employer what you can do for them. You do this by highlighting your achievements in your past jobs. By doing this, you are telling your prospective employer that what I have done for XYZ, I can also do for you. You need to tailor your resume for each job opportunity. That means multiple resume versions. Author unique cover letters that resonate with the recruiter. Optimize your LinkedIn profile to differentiate you from the competition. Those who know me well know that I am not a fan of social media, but I use it when I have to. LinkedIn is one of the few social media platforms that I recommend when you are job searching, particularly if you are out of employment. Secondly, you need to answer the question right off the bat, why am I the best person for the job? Determine and articulate the value that you offer an employer. Identify the strengths you bring to the role apart from what is in the job description. Answer these important questions. What can I contribute to the ultimate goal of accountability to beneficiaries and donors? What can I contribute to measurement and evidence of program impact? How well can I fix something that is broken? How can I bring about innovation? How well can I lead a new program or project that creates efficiencies and effectiveness? Answering these questions will determine your value. So incorporate these value statements into all your career campaign materials so that it's clear why you are the most qualified and talented candidate. Remember your unique selling proposition. Number 3, set goals and develop a job search strategy. Get a job search strategy in place that includes the following tools in addition to the resumes and the social media profiles. You want your interview question preparation? You want assessments? Think about salary negotiation tools. Onboarding, skills development, how to network effectively, and also forming that circle of accountable partners. Fourth, it's your job to get you a job. When you are unemployed, you do have a job, and that job is to look for a job. Plan your day just like you do when you are working, except that you are now working to secure that next opportunity. It's very common to go through periods of hopelessness and lowness when unemployed and job searching. I've been there, and I've also helped others go through the same. Consider seeking help from a career coach who, in addition to working with you on the above, can serve as your chief motivational officer and cheer you on. Let's wrap up this serious discussion with some light humor. My kids' school is performing a whole school production of Matilda the musical, based on Roald Dahl's book, Matilda. And my kids are walking around the house singing the songs from the musical all day. And now, of course, I have joined in the singing and the moves. I have also been gently encouraged by my twins to watch it a few times on Netflix. There is some seriousness and life lessons in this musical, though, that I find apt for our discussion on resilience. The 12-year-old Matilda is very resilient and teaches this to other children at her school. One of the songs, entitled Naughty, very aptly encapsulates resilience, specifically the following lyrics. Just because you find that life's not fair, it doesn't mean that you just have to grin and bear it. If you always take it on the chin and wear it, nothing will change. But nobody else is gonna put it right for me. Nobody but me is gonna change my story. Please don't rate my singing. If you are going through a season of unemployment or something similar, keep in mind that this too shall pass, and keep the faith. Your day of sunshine is coming. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Humor Career Insights podcast. We hope you found the discussion on building resilience insightful and inspiring. Remember, navigating your career path can be challenging, but with the right strategies and support, you can achieve your professional goals. If you have any questions, feedback, or topics you'd like us to cover in future episodes, we'd love to hear from you. Feel free to reach out to us on our website or social media channels. Don't forget to follow and rate our podcast to stay updated on the latest episodes, and share it with your colleagues and friends who might benefit from our insights. Until next time, take care and stay inspired.